Warning, the following intro is super gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard.
As part of a special on webacinema.com, my boss and all-around cool guy, Spidey, asked contributors to come up with a video that's Halloween themed. Being that I'm a very busy guy working on an awesome costume to bring to a college party, I was gonna choke. But for reasons of him being my boss, I at least had to bring something to the table. This accounts for the lack of screen time, which I think you lovely guys would tolerate for once. So for today's video, let me make it clear and say that to this day, I love watching cartoons on Nickelodeon, or Nicktoons for short. They offer an incredibly wide variety of cartoons, ranging from incredibly silly to serious to whatever the hell Ren and Stimpy was. In short, I can tolerate every cartoon on Nickelodeon. Almost. But that's for another time. With my love for Nicktoons out of the way, I love villains, sometimes outweighing the interest of the heroes. The villains and their diabolical nature make them fun to watch. Not saying that the heroes aren't awesome or badass, but that it's so easy to praise a good guy if he's already being praised for. Defeats the purpose if you ask me. Now Nicktoons that do deal with this good versus evil complex happen to have really fun villains to talk about. So, without further ado, here is a list of my top 5 favorite villains on Nickelodeon. Coming at number 5 is Rancid Rabbit from Cat Dog. Cat Dog was one of those shows that people love to admit that they never watched. Growing up, I never found anybody who liked to talk about this show. Mind you, I was in the first grade when this show came out, and seeing other first graders admit to not watching a cartoon was, kind of hard to swallow. Maybe it was the anatomical dysfunction of having a cat and dog fused together, or having something more annoying than Tom Kenny, which was Tom Kenny attached to Jim Cummings' backside. Whatever it was, for a show that's alleged pitch was only its theme song, it's pretty entertaining. What was really entertaining was its villain, Rancid Rabbit. What's interesting about him is that his position is never consistent. He could be a principal at a school, a manager at a fast food joint, or even a king on an island. Whatever it was, he always had a position of power, making it harder for Cat Dog to beat. But even when Rancid gets his comeuppance, Cat Dog loses as well. What's interesting about this show is not only how flawed the rabbit is, but so is Cat Dog. Cat is always controlling and making rules like an uncontrollable superego, all while Dog is pure Eid. Never thinking I would use Freudian psych in a Cat Dog scenario, but you need to have the ego. A guy who's just as manipulative and carefree. What I find ironic is how Rancid Rabbit is the doppelganger to Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh. They're both the same shade of green, they have almost the same voice, but they're entirely different personalities. Rancid Rabbit, an unlikely choice, though he shows his worth of evil in my eyes. Coming at number 4 is Plankton from SpongeBob SquarePants. Kind of an odd choice considering that the show is probably the silliest on this list, but bear with me. Plankton's part of a group of villains who's over the top but never get what they deserve. a group that includes Zim from Invader Zim and the Amoeba Boys from the Powerpuff Girls. Of all the characters, he's probably the smartest one, though at first it wouldn't say a lot when you look at its cast, but always lets the insecurities get the best of him. In his case, his size.
No matter what I do, I always end up being squashed by someone bigger than me.
It only makes it funnier when his biggest concern in life is outselling his business partner, a fast food manager. Yeah, here's a guy who can have everything he wants. He can build robots and practically make his own wife, and all he wants is a freaking patty formula. Not to mention that his size is never consistent in any cartoon. One moment he's microscopic, and the other he's visible with the naked eye. Not to mention that he talks like a 1930s gangster. These are all elements that do make him fun to watch. Plankton, cause he went to college.
Who will join me?
Coming at number 3 is Vlad Plasmius from Danny Phantom. What I enjoy about this show is how it captures the essence of Marvel's Silver Age while making it on par for family entertainment, capturing both the silliness and the seriousness of the comics. While Danny represents the Spider-Man of our series, we have to have our Doctor Doom or Green Goblin. We'd practically be in debt without them. While the show does have a great list of rogues, Vlad Plasmius does come out on top. For one, his origins are practically the same. Having been zapped with gamma rays, ghost rays, Plasmius becomes half ghost like Danny. But unlike Danny, he has years of experience gaining more powers as he became older. But what makes Vlad the more interesting is his motivation. He doesn't want to physically defeat Danny, that's quite the opposite actually. He doesn't have to beat him, he has nothing to prove by doing it. He already has more powers.
I don't want to fight you. No, you don't.
He's already acquired a lot of wealth and practically has all he wants financially. His goal is to literally break Danny mentally by having him join the dark side and destroying the family he felt has been denied from him. A crafty inventor, manipulative, and overall an evil guy, Vlad had to be on this list. Coming at number 2 is Azula from The Last Airbender. I was actually a little torn as to who to choose from this list coming from this show, considering that the show has got an amazing cast of characters that are well written and developed. At first I wasn't going to choose Azula because she did seem like a blanket bad guy. She was evil just because she was evil. All she was to me was an obstacle for Aang and Zuko once Zhao was out of the picture. And trust me, when you take Jason Isaacs out of the pictures, you have some pretty big shoes to fill. Not to mention Zuko's dealing with a lot as it is, having been banished, burnt, betrayed, and stabbed by Captain Hook nonetheless. What makes Azula the perfect match for this list was how her true colors shown at the end of the series. Having lost a friend she only had causes her to become increasingly neurotic and calculating, like anything's out to get her. And like Plasmius, she has practically all the power in the world. Her defeat made Zuko's redemption the stronger, and his final rise to power more worth it. Azula, because fire never looked so good blue.
Wait! You want to be Fire Lord? Fine, let's settle this. Just you and me, brother.
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. Cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying.
So now you looked at the bottom 4. Who could possibly be the most evil Nicktoon villain than any of these baddies? Well, let's find out. Because the number 1 most diabolical, manipulative, heartless, selfish, bow down before her or she will eat your soul, evilest Nicktoon villain is...
Angelica Pickles.
So yeah, you've lost faith in me. You're about to close your laptop or computer, and you think to yourself, managed to be more evil than these guys. And then I tell you, well, she's committed all these things, as evil as the people on my list, while she was a toddler. Yeah, that's right. Angelica has managed to trick people for her own selfish needs while playing it like a cute and innocent little angel. And not just the Rugrats as a matter of fact, but the adults as well. Part of what made Rugrats a fun show to watch was how normal situations and mundane things were turned into larger-than-life scenarios, as would the world would appear to a young person. A garbage truck would turn into a monster or a snow day into the Antarctic. What Angelica Pickles represented was like the atom bomb to childhood. While all these other baddies were half ghost, breathing fire, or even microscopic one-celled organisms, Angelica was a person we all knew. She was either our sister, our friend's cousin, or that annoying girl in your first grade class. You knew that there was one person growing up that had you on a leash for her own good, which only made Angelica the most real to me. And if that's not scary, I don't know what is. So that's my top 5 Nicktoon villains, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a safe night. Remember not to overdose on the pixie sticks, you Mama Luke. Happy Halloween from the police.
Yeah.